If someone asked me to describe M3GAN 2.0 to them, if they had no idea what this movie was about, I would basically say this is Alien vs. Predator for the gay community. Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ Marino and I am so truly excited to dive into this episode. We are going to be having a new review for you today of the Blumhouse horror action movie, action comedy, honestly, the camp classic of the year. We are talking about M3GAN 2.0. I was a big defender of the first M3GAN movie, but thankfully the movie didn't need that much defending. It truly found its audience. There was a niche community who really embraced this movie, and it was the LGBTQ community from the jump. We just absolutely supported M3GAN and all of the madness. Now with M3GAN 2.0, it finds itself easier to defend. It finds itself easier to get into because it's so much more fun. This movie saw everything that the first M3GAN had. A bit of chills, a bit of thrills, but a lot of fun, a lot of campiness, and some decent action sprinkled throughout. It saw all of that and said, what if we up the ante? What if we make it bigger and better? And that's exactly what this movie is.
I sat down with the president of Disney Channel and I said, I want to make history. And that's what this is.
It is a bigger, bolder movie. This is definitely not the simple little story, the simple little horror film that this started off with. This is going to be a bold comparison. This is the Aliens to the first movie's Alien, where Alien is a much smaller scale film, a much more kind of serious attempt at what it wants to do, where the second film, Aliens, is bold, bombastic, big, over the top, and that's exactly what this movie goes for. It saw its kind of simpler, almost slasher film origins and said, what if we up the ante and make it a robot versus robot movie? Hell yes, give me two sassy robots being sassy against each other, I would be absolutely sat. And then delivered on that concept in a great way. I found myself engaged by the spy drama of it all. Like, honestly, I had more fun with this than the new Mission Impossible.
You need to leave!
That is a crazy-ass statement. I am making bold claims throughout this M3GAN review, but truly, that's how I felt throughout this. I liked all the spy caper stuff. I found it still to be pretty fun and gross, and kind of, I saw that they were limited by the PG-13 rating of it, but I still thought what they were pulling off with the kills and things were fun, good PG-13 horror kills. I wish I would have seen a bit more blood, sure. I definitely, that's my only complaint, was you could see that they were holding themselves back in the violence department, but I still thought the violence was there. I still thought they built some good tensions throughout, and I thought it was so damn funny. There is so many jokes throughout this movie, a little too many jokes that where they're definitely throwing stuff at you, and they sing what sticks and what lands. For the most part, it does stick and land for me. I thought the movie was pretty funny throughout, and I just honestly was so happy that this movie was upping the ante in its camp department as well. All the other departments got bigger and bolder, but the camp did as well. We all know the infamous Titanium Sia song that M3GAN sings in the first movie.
I am titanium. Good night, Katie.
There is a singing scene that is a bit of a homage to that one, but it is so much funnier. It is just so, everything is done well. They saw a lot of the jokes and what worked in that first movie and just turned up the notch. They didn't change what worked and they didn't change what we liked about it, but they upped it. And they did try to fix things, they try to fix things here or there. It definitely runs into some problems where the dialogue is a bit sparse. The dialogue is a bit thin in weight and in interesting things to say, but again, I wasn't going into this movie expecting an Oscar-winning script. I wanted fun, I wanted campiness, I wanted some good robot kills, and I just wanted to see M3GAN again, and all of that was delivered on. Yes, M3GAN is back, and she wants to defend her friend Katie all over again, and she's going to do what she needs to. It is going to be hard this time, though, when there is an eviler robot named Amelia who is doing some crazy things that the government is now involved. Again, this story is so big and bolder compared to what we had originally set up with just this aunt trying to, save her niece. That's the story of the original one. Now we're dealing with different governments. Now we're dealing with stuff that I was just like, this feels too real. Like, with all the political stuff going on, maybe I don't need to be hearing about conflicts in different countries all based around what he said said, she said technology stuff. It got a little too real, but I also love that M3GAN was still trying to say something. There is commentaries about AI and our use of technology and how we are going to be too dependent on it, and I love that they try to continue this. I think it's funny that, you know, in the 80s we had a lot of movies like Blade Runner and RoboCop that kind of that expressed our fears of the technological future that we're getting to. Terminator, another great example. And I love that a lot of movies nowadays are dealing with it again. You know, we haven't learned much from the 80s, but also M3GAN still has a way of saying there's still different ways. You know, they even make fun of the 80s. They even have a killer robot in the 80s that they tease. If there is a 80s set M3GAN prequel, I'm there. You sold me. Give me the Teddy Ruxpin. Give me the Chucky stuff. I would love to see the M3GAN universe in the 80s. It would be great. But yeah, I love that they had commentary. They had things to say. This isn't just a simple M3GAN's back to do more sassy stuff. They're trying to do stuff, and I really do appreciate that the story attempted to have some weight. Again, is this going to be the most profound statement? AI bad? Robot people may be scary. You know, I'm not saying that they're breaking new ground here with conversations, but I appreciate that a goofy horror movie tried to have some more to it. That this movie could have just been pure memes. This movie could have been Memes the movie, Morbius. It could have been Joker 2. It could have been those kind of like, yikes, we're doing that, we're trolling the audience. They could have been. We've seen what sequels do, especially when sequels are received maybe not how they originally thought they were going to be, so they have to build this new audience. You see how the worst case scenarios, M3GAN is the best case scenario when a sequel gets bigger and budgeted to a different extent. When things get a bit more popular, we could see that we could lose what makes it work. We can lose that soul, but the soul's still here.
Like us to rebuild a deranged robot in order to catch another one.
Would you prefer I gave you a printout that you can read at your own pace?
It's still a solid story about M3GAN, you know, trying to defend her girl Katie and trying to deal with the bigger one. Oh my god, Allison Williams has a Dakota Johnson energy where she never seems like she wants to be there, but I'm also really into her lackadaisical performance. I don't know, Allison Williams gave me, but M3GAN and Amelia, both of our robot queens in this movie, were great. When M3GAN got that little makeover with the bob, iconic. When Amelia was just a killer ass kicker, she was giving me like female Terminator vibes. It was so cool to see that this movie had a lot of different elements, but they all came together to just make a solid, great, fun time. The power of a campy horror movie with a tone like M3GAN, I can definitely see this movie not working for everyone. I know campy movies are not going to be everyone's cup of tea, so I definitely want to give you a heads up. If you are averse to camp, if you think horror movies should just be straight up like metaphors on grief or very hard-hitting slasher movies or the goriest movie you've ever seen, M3GAN is definitely not going to fill that quota for you. But if you're an appreciator of campy movies, if you loved, you know, a good comparison, if you loved the Venom movies, if you really saw what they were doing over there at Sony with the crazy Venom world and Tom Hardy's committed performance, I have that same feeling that I loved of those movies. I have that here. I can see everything they're trying, the fun, the goofiness, but still taking it serious. That's the problem with camp. Some people make campy movies and they're trying to make a campy movie. It's over the top, it's stupid, it's dumb, it's jokes because they know the movie's going to be a joke. They know M3GAN is going to be goofy, but they're still taking themselves seriously, still trying to deliver something that is watchable. I always compare it with, I'm from the shark movie community. I don't like a Sharknado. I don't like a purposely bad movie. I like a shark movie that's like trying to be a real movie and it's just bad. Like the 48 Meters Down. That movie I liked more than a Sharknado, even though that I think 48 Meters Down is not a great movie, but it still was trying to take itself seriously and it just accidentally made a campy movie. M3GAN is teetering that line so well. I think they know what movie they're making, but they're not letting it get too goofy and out of itself. They're still taking M3GAN seriously and still making it a worthwhile experience, and I think that's why the audience is able to really connect with it. My audience loved this movie. We saw it in a packed house, and that's exactly how I think M3GAN should be seen, with a bunch of like-minded people. You bring your friends, you guys have a little bit of wine before the movie, maybe if it's illegal in your state, some herbal refreshments, and you are going to just giggle your way through this movie. The M3GAN singing scene is iconic. We got another dance scene, everything you want, and the robot fight scene. I will not give you much, but I was impressed that the girls were girling. They were getting into it. The contortion, the back bending. Oh my goodness. Just what a blasty blast of a movie. And again, it's not going to be for everyone, but I think the people who want this kind of movie are going to eat it up. M3GAN 2.0 is here this weekend. I am so happy to review this movie, and I highly recommend it. Is it going to be for everyone? Like I said, no, but if you're definitely interested in a campy horror film, if you liked the first M3GAN, and if you love movies that just know how to have a good, goofy time, this is going to be it. This is exactly the movie for you this weekend. All right, guys, what did you think of my review for M3GAN 2.0? Are you going to be seeing it? Are you interested in the M3GAN movies? Would you see a third movie if it was possibly offered to us? I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth for more videos like this, and give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. YouTube takes those way too seriously. My God, the thumbs up community, we need it. That's why all of us say it. We love the thumbs up because YouTube loves the thumbs up. All right, guys, what did you think of my review? Share your thoughts, and let's talk about M3GAN and M3GAN 2.0 specifically right down below.